Well, with me is the chairman of the Electoral Commission for the NRM party, Dr. Tanga Odoi.
Thank you.
Well, Doctor, this morning, your colleague within the NRM, the former Secretary General,
Yes.
broke his silence by showing interest to contest against the party chairman, Museveni Kaguta, as the chairman of the Electoral Commission of the party. What do you make of his declaration?
Finally, the silence is broken. Living in silence is deceptive. And I think politically that was wrong. You cannot hold a party or a nation at tenterhooks simply because you don't want to declare what you know you want to declare. That's lack of political sincerity. And I think my senior brother, Right Honorable Mbabazi, in holding us or holding the country in that way was lack of political sincerity. The space in NRM is large. The only thing is the procedure of occupying the space. And as chairman now NRM, I'm going to issue guidelines for candidates in different areas and how they should declare their candidacy. So if the Right Honorable Mbabazi has declared his candidacy, maybe I would say he declared it because he has a right to declare himself. But as NRM Electoral Commission, free and neutral, waiting to place a ballot box and look for those candidates voting for every post. I welcome anybody who wants to do whatever he wants to do within the party elections to consult the NRM Electoral Commission and, if anything, to follow guidelines for smooth elections.
Now, where does now this leave the question to do with the sole candidature of President Museveni that was first declared by the political organ of the party, the NRM caucus in Chamkwanza?
The NRM caucus is a caucus. It's a caucus. And a caucus is like works as a pressure group at times. They have their wish. Their wish may not be the wish of other people. But they were right to give their declaration as a caucus. That declaration was not endorsed by anybody except the caucus. You've never heard the president coming out vehemently to say, yes, I'm now a sole candidate. He has never. You have never heard the Electoral Commission coming out and saying, this is a sole candidate and nobody should come. That was the view of members of the caucus. And they have entitlement to their view. About us as Electoral Commission, our view is simple. Whoever qualifies along the guidelines we shall set to be a candidate, we shall place the ballot box, we shall produce the ballot papers, and we bring the college or the constituency to vote. So I have no problem with the caucus declaring its mandate and wish that President Museveni should be a sole candidate. They are right in their way. I don't mind about anybody in the country declaring so. I only mind about the outcome.
What does this pose to your office as the chairman, Electoral Commission?
No. Anybody coming in for election in the NRM will abide by the rules and regulations set. You don't abide by it, you fall out. So if the strict rules are A, B, C, D, accepted by the people and endorsed by SEC, because we, as Electoral Commission, we are answerable to SEC. If SEC endorses our regulation, these are the qualifications for one to be a president, these are the qualifications for one to be an MP, these are the rules of the game, this is how one should behave, this is the history one should have. If it is endorsed, to me, the deal is done. Whoever falls within that mandate and plays by the rules of the game, as Electoral Commission, we place the box, we place the ballot papers, and we see the outcome. Free and fair. I will not
What political challenge
indulged.
does it present to your office?
Well, the political challenge is that actually it gives me political esteem. It lifts my CV to have presided over elections where very high caliber people are involved. to have the president of a party coming down to preside over election of a president of a party. It lifts my CV, it lifts the NRM CV, it lifts our level of transparency. The coming in of a mama procedurally, if it is procedurally right, should not be a threat. It should give people the idea that in NRM there is democracy.
But already at that point, the threat is there.
Mama is not a threat to me.
As the chairman,
he is not a threat to me as chairman of EC. Why? He will be a candidate like any other candidate will. And I'll say, these are the rules to govern all candidates. This is where I don't see him as a threat. But he will present himself, not a mama who is going to kick me, but a mama who is going to abide by the rules set by the EC.
But why are you not, as the chairman of the Electoral Commission, refrain the arrests of his supporters?
The different departments deal with different issues. The Department of Law and Order is under the Inspector General of Police. If the Inspector General of Police comes to arrest him when he's a candidate chosen by the movement as a flag bearer, as chairman of the Electoral Commission, I would have an issue to raise with him. But if he comes and he comes credible issues, as a citizen, he can be arrested because he's not above the law. But the arrest of his supporters, the arrest of the so-called poor youth, if they are arrested, falls within law and order sector. And that is the Inspector General of Police. The arrest of voters, if it would to bias election, I would come and cry and say, no, these are voters, these are the people to be voted for, they have not violated my rules, why are you arresting them? So I think let's differentiate between what is happening in the town and what will happen here, or wherever I'll put the ballot box. I want to tell the country with sincerity, the president and chairman of the party, President Yoweri Museveni, will be a candidate against any other candidate. And if the people wish to vote him en masse, they will still give him the votes and they will still defeat any other person. So I want to call for calm, that everybody should be calm, everybody should remain peaceful. As chairman of the Electoral Commission of NRM, I'm ready to handle all elections within the NRM.
Putting this to you as a political analyst, what democratic dispensation or environment does the coming of Amama Mbabazi portray within the NRM party?
I think within the NRM party and within the Uganda's political spectrum, it lifts Uganda's democracy to a better level. Coming out today as a former retired prime minister or former prime minister and challenging the leader of the party for a position and doing it fairly within the rules lifts democracy within Uganda and lifts democracy within that party. Actually, it gives NRM more scores and Uganda more scores and our democracy more scores if we allow freely Amama and others to compete and we sort it out. But it gives all of us that space.
But of course, in his audio message that he sent this morning on YouTube, he's critiquing the NRM that a lot has gone wrong.
Yes.
Within the system. But he has been part of the system.
That's as a political analyst, I was going to tell you just that. Yeah. You can't be part of a system for 25 years. You fall out in 3 months and you become more of a pope who wants the purification of that system which you fail to purify, and you think people will support you. I am now talking as a Ugandan. The Ugandans, the 33 million Ugandans, know a lot about what was, what has taken place, and where we want to go. So nobody can deceive the population of this country that nothing has taken place. Even the freedom to post your message through YouTube is a plus on the ruling government. And it would be a disservice to the right honorable Prime Minister, former Prime Minister, to claim Uganda has done nothing under NRM. Because to that, he would be selling to what he used to condemn message for in the previous years. Thank you.
Thanks, Doctor, for giving guidance on the outburst of Honorable Amama Mbabazi.